Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi Alhamdulillah. Panjang umur saya hari ini untuk meneruskan perkongsian satu perkara yang saya, pada hemat saya, adalah sangat penting berhubung dengan undang-undang, iaitu peraturan-peraturan kualiti alam sekeliling udara bersih 2014, yang mana undang-undang ini saya merasakan, mungkin saya salah, tapi saya merasakan perlu ada sedikit sebanyak bimbingan daripada mereka-mereka yang faham undang-undang ini. Bukan sahaja saya, ramailah yang lain, terutama sekali pegawai-pegawai berkenaan daripada jabatan-jabatan yang ataupun autoriti yang berkenaan yang faham undang-undang ini. Tujuan saya hanya membantu dalam bentuk membuat video supaya ia lebih mudah akses melalui YouTube. Ini yang saya lakukan. Baik, hari ini alhamdulillah we are going to look into the Clean Air Regulations again, not to say again, but more in depth. We are going to view the interpretation of Regulation 13 of the Clean Air Regulation. We are now entering the third schedule. We will look into the third schedule for subclause A for activities of heat generation and power generation plant for the production of electrical power. So if you could remember, if you are able to remember the previous video, we have looked at this one. The key into the Clean Air Regulation under Regulation 13 is we are here today. We are looking into activities in the first schedule. All right, this is what we are doing today, and we are going to look into the first activity in the third schedule. Here we are. All right, we are going to look at the first activity of this third schedule, and I will display before you all the activities, but for today I will display the first activity. There are about an array of a list of activities which is classified under the third schedule. So for today, we are going to look into the first group of activity under the third schedule. So please remember, what do you have to remember is when we look into this law, the first thing is determine whether our activities here, is it under the first schedule or not? If it is under the first schedule, our emission standard, the environmental parameters that we need to perform those periodic or continuous environmental monitoring is already stipulated dalam third schedule. This is what we're going to look at, the third schedule, and the rest will come later in the next video. Now let's take a look at the third schedule. So this 500 milligram per meter cube when they're using solid and liquid fuel, all right, and for nitrogen dioxide, if they are using gas, the emission standard is much more stringent. It is 350 milligram per cubic meter. And watch out. Do you see all this in red fonts? Right? When you see from this slide, I just want to make it simple for everyone. When you see red fonts here, what does it mean? I've given a guide here. It means for that particular parameter, continuous emission monitoring system is required. Meaning, if you are having boiler and using solid liquid fuel for parameters, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen oxides, carbon monoxide, look, the limits are all there. even using gas, and also total particulate matter. Look, you need to have a system called continuous emission monitoring system that will be recording the emissions continuously and shall be connected with the authority, namely the DOE. Okay, and this one is only applied for hydrochloric acid. Is only applied if it is more than 10 megawatts production, and using solid and liquid fuel. And using solid and liquid fuel, they don't require, this one don't require continuous emission monitoring. I think you know the reason why. Okay, and also for hydrofluoric acid, you don't require continuous emissions monitoring, and the limit is for solid and liquid fuel is 30 milligram per cubic meter for less than 10 megawatt. If the production is more than 10 megawatts, 15 is the limit. 15 milligram per cubic meter of solid and liquid. The same thing goes for total particulate matter. All right, 5 for gas, 5 milligram per meter cube for gas. Total mercury, if they are using solid and liquid, solid, normally solid fuel here is referring to perhaps bituminous or subbituminous coal. Okay, and the dioxin is regulated here too. 0.1 equivalent. All right, 0.1 if they're using solid or liquid fuel. Got it? Right. That's where you have continuous emission monitoring. Remember all these red fonts. All right, and next take a look at turbines. If for turbines, what is applicable is only 2 parameters, which is nitrogen oxide here and also carbon monoxide from the turbine. So this is regulated. All right, and both this parameter requires CEMS, continuous emission monitoring. And for combined cycle genset, take a look. If they're using liquid and gas, 600 milligram per cubic meter of nitrogen oxides, or actually nitrogen dioxide. Carbon monoxide is regulated 650, and the limit of 80 milligram per cubic meter of total particulate matter if they're using liquid and gas fuel for combined cycle genset. So that's about it for the heat and power generation plant, subclause A under third schedule. So this is the third schedule where you have got the parameters, where you have got the standard or limits of emission dedicated or tailored to this particular activity, which is heat and power generation plant. Heat and power generation plant, total capacity of 10 megawatt, combined cycle 3 megawatt. That's about it. So I hope this would bring some convenience for most of those who are involved in the power generation plant activities, whether you're working for the power generation plant, whether you're the internal auditor for the power generation plant, HAC personnel, the managers, the executives, and environmental engineers there. And also I hope the external auditors will find this convenient. Prior your audit, all you got to do is view this video, and you can have the slides as well. You can train, you can use this video to brief your client. Doesn't matter. I hold no copyright. Just wish me longevity to pursue this work. Doakan saya kalau sekiranya kehidupan saya hari esok, saya doa untuk diri saya kalau ada manfaat untuk sesiapa, panjangkan umur saya, dan hopefully ada manfaat untuk orang lain. Kehidupan saya ni, this is the best I could do for you. So thank you for your attention, thank you for your time. We'll take a look into part B of the third schedule and check what are the parameters and the limits of emission. Thank you very much for the time. I wish everybody, uh, yeah, before I wish you salam, please do not hesitate to subscribe. Be kind enough to subscribe, all right? And this is the best I could do for the moment, and so that you have all these videos within your accessibility. So I wish everybody assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Have a good day. See you in the next video. Bye.